Hi, welcome to Captivate Travelers with Vertical Video, tips for tourism businesses. Today's content is brought to you by Travel Oregon, so let's go ahead and dive in. Hi, my name is Caitlin, and I'm going to walk you through today's content. Here's what we're going to learn. First, we'll talk about why vertical video matters in the travel industry right now. Number two, we'll talk about how your tourism business can get started. And number three, we'll talk about how to create content, some best practices, and we'll talk about how to optimize that content so that travelers are actually finding the videos that you create. And we'll end today with some key takeaways. First, let's talk about why vertical video matters for travel. We'll share some data with you. In the past year, 33% of travelers have used online video to plan travel. Now, we're not talking about vertical video specifically. We are just talking about video formats in general. And I want to point out that it's to plan travel. It's not just the travel discovery process, but also maybe building their itinerary. When it comes to short form content, interest by platform varies significantly for travelers. For example, a large percentage of TikTok users are Gen Z, and hardly any travelers in the boomer generation or older are using this platform. Millennials are actively consuming short form video across social media platforms, but have a preference for Instagram, whereas Gen Z and boomers prefer watching YouTube Shorts. In fact, YouTube Shorts is the most commonly used short-form video platform for travel planning. Whenever we look at research from future partners, the question is, in the past 12 months, which of these short-form video platforms have you used to help plan your travel? YouTube's at the top of that list. Travelers are using Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, and pretty evenly, but 21% of these travelers that participated in the survey said that they are using YouTube Shorts specifically. We haven't defined vertical video just yet, so let's take a moment to discuss what this term means. It is a term that is widely used by social media marketers and used to reference videos filmed vertically. These videos can be short, 60 to 90 seconds long, or even up to 10 minutes long. Now, the maximum length of videos is going to vary across platform. TikTok, for example, videos can be 15 seconds to 10 minutes long. It's a really long video for the vertical format. Facebook and Instagram Reels are 3 seconds to 90 seconds max, and YouTube Shorts are 15 seconds to 60 seconds max. YouTube Shorts really fit the definition of what we call short form content. Also, I want to point out that as of March, Instagram started testing 3 and 10-minute reels, so maybe that's something we'll see in the future. Users aren't just finding this content on their mobile devices. This content can actually be discovered on desktop, and it can be viewed on desktop as well. If you look at this example to the right, we're looking at YouTube, and we can see YouTube Shorts there on a desktop. So the user can explore content based on either what is trending, or they can do a very specific search. Best outdoor attractions in Oregon is what we're seeing here. Also, what's great is sites like YouTube don't require an account to explore these videos. Vertical videos are also coming up in search. Google has started integrating this content into mobile search results. So the user may find a module called short videos in mobile search results. Google is sourcing this content from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You do have to have your content optimized, which again, we'll talk about that a little later in this program. Also, users don't need an account to view any of these videos right here in mobile search, which is great. Let's look at an example together. I did a search for best restaurants in Astoria, Oregon. At first, Google is going to pull up what they call the local pack. These are the top popular places matching my search. What we want to do is actually get into the organic search results, those blue links, and what we're going to see are carousels. This carousel in particular is what we're looking for, where it says short videos. The first video is actually coming from Instagram and it's 7 months old. The next video is from TikTok. It was created 3 months ago. When we click on these videos, we're actually able to watch them right there in search results. We don't need to have an account on any one particular platform, which is pretty cool. So what kinds of video content really perform best when it comes to travel? Fortunately, we have that research. Number 1 was videos featuring nature. Number 2, which comes as no surprise, is food-related content. And number 3 is any videos that are featuring people performing in some way close behind. So maybe you want to take this into consideration when you start jumping into actually creating content. Now we're going to talk about getting started. We want to provide some easy tips for you to go ahead and dive in and start working with this vertical video content and these platforms where you see these types of videos. Here are things that you can do right now to get started. First thing you can do is just make sure that you're finding the right platform or platforms for your brand. Next, you can update your bio on these platforms. Make sure you're including your location, your contact information. Then you really want to stay organized. We recommend creating a content calendar and go ahead and start engaging with other accounts. Lastly, we want you to start replying to comments. It's really important. Let's talk about finding the right audience. There's a lot of platforms out there. We're not suggesting that you need to have an account on every single one. You don't need to be everywhere all at once. We recommend picking 1 or 2 platforms just to get started. You can do your own research to determine which platform best suits your brand, but we'll cover some of the top social media sites. Facebook is still the top social networking platform. Most people have a profile. It's a good place to start for any brand. Coming in after Google, YouTube is the number 2 search engine and the most popular platform among travelers for short-form video content. Instagram is a great place to attract millennials and even younger audiences, and TikTok is a good option for any brand that wants to reach Gen Z, which makes up 60% of their user base. Even then, TikTok's user base is steadily aging up, making it a good platform for brands that want to get ahead. Plan ahead with a content calendar. You can find a free template online just to get started. We recommend having a tab for each month with columns for your post type, which could be an event, an announcement, a product promotion, etc. You also want a column for your copy. Go ahead and put everything in there, hashtags, emojis, and all. And have a column for the visual type. Is this a GIF? Is it a flat image? Is it maybe a video? And you may want to consider a column just to link to your visual assets that you're using. You should have content finalized 2 weeks before the post date. Finalized means that everything is filmed, the copy is written and proofed, and everything has been uploaded and even scheduled on the platform. Social media management is a lot of work. If you don't have time to do it all by yourself, consider hiring a social media manager, a freelancer, or get help from a social media savvy employee. According to HubSpot's 2024 social trends, short videos yield the highest ROI, but do include other types of content in your content plan. You want to mix it up. You also want to save yourself some time. Not every single post has to take a lot of energy, but if you're thinking about a return on investment, you definitely want to jump in on this short form video trend and really make sure you have vertical video content in the mix. Let's talk about how you can boost interactions on these platforms. One easy thing that you can do right now is just follow other accounts and start commenting. You might get a follow or a comment back. We're actually going to talk about some brands that we recommend you follow just for getting ideas on content, especially around vertical video, brands that are just really doing things well. The next thing you want to do is definitely utilize CTAs or calls to action. An example of that would be tag a friend who'd want to visit this place, or tag a friend who would think this is funny. You're making them take some sort of action. You're asking your audience to engage. Next thing you want to do is track your efforts. You're putting time into this, you might as well pay attention. So if you have Google Analytics, what you can do is type in free Google Analytics tracking code builder or creator, and you'll get one of these free sites where you can generate a special URL where you can really track your campaign. Next, you always want to send people to the link in the bio. So if you're on Instagram, you're posting some kind of video, tell people to go to your bio for a link to learn more, really push some conversions, push them to your website. Something else you can do is be a little creative when you're commenting back. You can use the reply with video feature on Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts. This could be funny, it could be lighthearted, and just a creative way to respond to people. Now you know a little bit more about what vertical video is, and you're ready to start thinking about the content that you want to create. So let's go over a few tips for creating that content. Before we talk about best practices for creating videos, let's talk about popular themes. What's great about these themes is that they are all evergreen. They will do well any time of the year. Our first example is the Hidden Gems theme. This is going to be something off the beaten path or an insider scoop on a new place, a product, or a service. Our first example is the Troubadour. This is the first video they ever published on TikTok. Let's watch.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
So you may recognize this voice. It's Steve Carell, and it's a funny clip from the hit show The Office. The brand is using humor to announce their presence on TikTok. This clip from The Office is actually a trending sound that is overlaid on top of the business's video. The video is really short, and it keeps the viewer's attention. It's got good pacing. Also, it was likely very easy to film. I mean, they're literally just walking right up to the door of the business. Our next theme is current trends. You can keep up with trending themes just by watching videos in your own feed and popular brands. This one you may be familiar with. It's called the Pass the Phone theme.
We are Ford's Theater, the site of Abraham Lincoln's assassination, and we're passing the phone to the museum that has the chair he was assassinated in.
We're at the Henry Ford in Dearborn, Michigan, and the rocking chair in which Abraham Lincoln was assassinated has been in our collection since 1929. I'm passing the phone to the site where Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation.
Hi, we're President Lincoln's cottage in D.C. Here, Lincoln lived with his family for a quarter of his presidency and made some of his most nation-changing decisions. We're passing the phone to the museum that has the Gettysburg Address.
Ford's Theater is taking on a really popular theme and applying it to their brand in a creative way. They also use this opportunity to collaborate with other museums and show off the skills and expertise of their staff. Find the trends you like and think about how you can apply them in a way that is meaningful and tells your story. No surprise here, food is a very popular theme. Here's a good local example that's utilizing some best practices for showing off restaurants and dishes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with choosing not to add sound or voiceover to your video. Viewers may be watching content in a public place without headphones, so text overlay is really very important. This is a really very simple concept that looks like it was easy to shoot, so we really like that. The video also answers the why question. If you're going to say that a restaurant or a dish is a must try, tell the audience why, what makes it special. Lastly, we really love that they translated the text for Spanish-speaking viewers. It's really smart. The next theme is what we call a roundup. Chances are you've seen this theme used before. It's typically a string of places or products that the creator is recommending. Here's a good example. The song they used is really simple and can appeal to anyone. It doesn't make me cringe or want to swipe. Again, I can watch this video in a public place and I can still understand the content because of the text overlay. The pacing is really good. The camera isn't focusing on one subject for too long, and they hold the viewer's attention by showing them active scenes, like the scene where the tea is being steeped and then poured. Again, we have a really simple concept and something that can be easily developed. This next theme is a really fun one. It highlights the behind the scenes process. Let's take a look at an example. I don't know about you, but I was definitely dancing in my chair. I admit to that. The song is silly, but it's really catchy, and it helps to grab the viewer's attention. It's possible that the song was trending at the time the video was published. People love to see a process, and this is a really creative way to bring us into the kitchen where the pies are made with just a few short clips. The video is also very effective if they're trying to show off a product and make us hungry for one of their pies. The adventure theme is all about watching someone do something wild and crazy. You'll see. This video is very short, thank goodness, and it really grabs your attention quickly. We're not suggesting that you need to be a pro athlete or risk your life just for views. Think about something that's coming up that you need to do that your audience might get a kick out of. Is it something you can film? Give it some thought. Earlier, we shared the top 3 themes that perform best with travelers, and nature is number 1. Let's take a look at an example. We like this video because it's just cell phone quality. There's nothing fancy about it. They're just filming with what they have using those resources. Also, they're providing facts and insights using overlay text about the area, and they're ending the video with both location and a call to action. They asked viewers to tag a friend. I also want to say, this theme is not reserved just for parks and preserves. Nature is all around us, so get creative. Maybe you have a large collection of indoor tropical plants at your business, or perhaps you have a lot of visitors come to a courtyard area near your business, or maybe you have a bird feeder. The Unusual Finds theme is all about the weird places we love. This oddly wonderful video has 4.5 million views. Let's watch. This is another really simple concept and a cute one to boot. It's really short and sweet and highlights what makes this place so unique. Think about what people are drawn to when it comes to your business. Is there something that people like to take a picture with? If so, show it off. To get started, just jump in. You don't need a production crew. Cell phone quality is just fine for shooting. Plus, viewers are looking for an authentic experience anyway, so you might as well ditch perfection and just start publishing today. Quantity is important. Produce several videos. You can learn from videos that are performing well. We recommend you start with a simple concept, like the process example we saw earlier from Pots and Pans Pie Company. We just talked about the importance of authenticity, and perhaps the best way to show a real experience is to showcase real faces and interactions. You can do this by featuring real customers. Maybe you have someone who visits your business regularly and you want to share your appreciation. You can also feature your staff and share their skills and expertise. We saw this earlier when we viewed the Pass the Phone video by Ford's Theater. Avoid filming an empty place. It's just not exciting. A montage video putting people first is much more engaging. You should definitely experiment and play with trends. Trends are very important on these platforms, particularly when it comes to vertical video. Just make sure you keep a good pace and you capture the viewer's attention quickly. We recommend checking out trending templates, sounds, and music. Here's an example from NYC Ferry where they use a trending template from an SNL skit for some lighthearted humor.
Look at this one. Look at that one. Look at this one. Look at that one. Look, are you kidding me?
When it comes to trends, you can play with different formats that are popular. We'll look at a few examples. Day in the life is a popular format. We like this trend because it gives the viewer an authentic behind-the-scenes look. In this example, we get to see real travelers on a snowshoe tour and meet their guide for the day.
So as far as like a typical day goes, snowshoe guiding, I usually get up to get my chai tea and get up the mountain and prepare the tours, make sure our waivers are signed, that they have the right equipment, that they will be warm as well. Get on these tours, which usually lasts about 2 hours. Sometimes we extend it because we just want to have a great time. So after lunch, I'll go right back to another tour. After that, we'll clean up the rest of the snowshoe tours and we'll handle all the rental returns because we rent out snowshoes, cross-country skis, downhill skis, and snowboards. And at the end of the day, it's fun to hear their experiences.
Travelers love to hear about trails. This example highlights Oregon's 11 food trails. The video is informative. Not only am I seeing real faces and places, but I'm also getting important information, like how to get a trail map. Is your business on a themed trail? Maybe there's an opportunity to attract travelers to your business by highlighting the significance of your location on the route.
Did you know that Oregon has 11 food trails? These self-guided tours make for a perfect weekend adventure and let you visit the best restaurants, bakeries, farm stands, and wineries in the state. So how does visiting work? You can pick up or download a map for free and then plan your self-guided adventure. Whether you're looking for family-friendly restaurants or planning an adults-only day visiting Oregon's famed vineyards, you'll find adventures perfect for every palate. During your trip, we also recommend checking out nearby hikes, visiting some of the local shops, and staying in one of the boutique hotels along the food trail. Whatever you do, we can promise you'll have a fun and delicious adventure. Cheers!
Our next example highlights a niche. It's a very thematic video. Where can you find art and have a glass of wine at an Oregon winery? Small details like adding specifically the type of art we'll see in overlay text really makes this video a great example of focusing on a theme. So, does your business have a niche? Are there other businesses in that area where you can partner to attract customers that are looking for something unique? Give it some thought. Our next tip is give good footage a second life. Save yourself some time and energy. Repurpose content from your other social media platforms. For example, do you have longer videos on a YouTube channel that you can use clips from? Just make sure you are using content that's performed well in the past and that you are reformatting the video to the right aspect ratio. There are free tools online that will help you reformat footage for vertical video. In this example, the National Gallery London soothes viewers with sounds of the pastel creation process, utilizing footage from a longer video. I mentioned earlier that we'd share a few brands doing really well with vertical video content that we recommend following for inspiration and learning more best practices. We'll take a look at a few examples together. Our first brand is Wimbledon. Wimbledon is using archival footage to highlight some iconic moments. This example has over 5 million likes. Let's take a look. Our next brand is Washington Post. In this example, they're using a trending sound and layering it on top of a video they've created to talk about climate records. This short video has over 84,000 views.
Panic! I'm scared.
This next brand is killing it in the vertical video space. It's Duolingo, a popular learning app. Their videos may not have anything to do with learning another language, but it doesn't matter. These silly clips with their mascot, Duo the Owl, are going viral and it's boosting their brand. Let's take a look.
Is not the love of your life. He is literally just a guy. Hit him with your car.
Our last brand is Turner Classic Movies. TCM is using clips from classic films in a really creative way to connect with younger audiences. Let's see an example together.
I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. There's no doubt about it, I'll sing and I'll shout it because I don't care.
If you haven't already, start following these brands for examples of good content that is getting tons of engagement. Another opportunity to consider is using influencers. These travel advisors can be perceived by consumers as more trustworthy than a brand account. They do offer a more organic approach to creating content. If you want to collaborate with an influencer, start researching for nano, micro, or mid-tier influencers with good engagement. You can look at video watch time, shares, saves, and comments as good metrics for success. If you decide to work with an influencer, make sure that they are very clear in the video that the content is paid for by the brand. Transparency is important. Hopefully you're ready to get out your cell phone and just start filming, just start experimenting and playing. What you need to know next though is how to optimize these videos so that travelers are finding them on various platforms and products. Here's how you can help users discover your content. Number 1, include the destination name. Number 2, use relevant tags or hashtags. 3, add a description. And 4, use overlay text and captions. Let's take a deeper dive into each of these. It's all about the location. Make sure that when people are searching for a destination, they're getting your video. So what you can do is add the city or state or region to the title. You also want to add the location to the description that you're going to write, and you want to add the location to the location field. You can look at this example here to the right and see that they added South Lake Tahoe as a location. This is kind of like a geotag. Also, you want to mention the location in your voiceover if you're using voiceover. Well, that's going to also be really helpful. You always want to use tags and hashtags. This is going to give the video some context. It's going to let those algorithms understand how your content is relevant to search queries. What you don't want to do is get too spammy. So definitely make sure that the hashtags and the tags that you're using are relevant to the content itself. And here's some examples of hashtags. Definitely use travel if you're a tourism business and you're trying to attract travelers. Also, if you're trying to attract travelers, definitely use hashtag Travel Oregon. There's a lot of debate over how many to use. I can't give you an actual number, but what I do recommend is that you experiment and play around and learn from performance. Descriptions are also really important. Your text that you're adding to the description, it should be optimized for search. So you should be using keywords that are relevant. Don't get crazy though. Don't get into keyword stuffing. Keep it simple. Longer captions are performing better for Instagram Reels reportedly. So you can see here in this example to the right, this is pretty lengthy caption or description for this particular attraction here. Also, for YouTube Shorts, you want to go back in and you want to fill out the full description box for any videos you have. You want to also list any points of interest that you mentioned in the video, and you don't want to mention, or you don't want to list rather, any points of interest that are not in the video or any destinations that are not in the video. You don't want your content coming up when people are searching for those attractions or those locations. You want your content to be relevant to the search. Text is crucial. There are several reasons why we want to be using overlay text. It could be that users are in a public place and they can't hear your audio, so you want to use overlay text to provide some additional context. Also, for accessibility reasons, you should be using closed captioning. If you're going to use overlay text, there are some things you can do also to make the text easier to read. You can add a background to the text. That's something you can do in the settings. Also, you may want to adjust that text so that it does disappear after a few seconds and it's not staying on the screen and really distracting the user from the content. Also, utilize all of that real estate. Play around with where the text can go. You can use the upper or the lower part of the screen. Congratulations, you've learned a lot about vertical video. Let's go over some key takeaways though. Number one, spend time on these platforms that we've talked about. Experiment, pay attention to what's trending, be that formats or sounds or different types of themes. Then make sure that you're optimizing your content. It's really easy to just add that description, make sure your location is in the title and the description, using those geo tags. Make sure people can find your content. You worked so hard on it. Also, social media is valuable, but you don't need to overdo it. You don't need to be everywhere. Pick what you're good at and go forth. Vertical video is the right move now. But don't forget other types of content too. Mix it up, make sure that you're keeping people engaged. And you don't have to do it all yourself. See if you have someone on staff who's handy, who's social media savvy, who can help get other people involved. Thanks so much for watching and learning with us. For additional resources and support, visit the Travel Oregon Business Listings Toolkit. Go to industry.traveloregon.com/listings.